I just got to go see the brand new Mike Flanagan movie. This is called The Life of Chuck, a brand new adaptation from a Stephen King short story. Mike Flanagan has been doing a bunch of Stephen King type of things. He's doing Carrie next. He's probably going to do The Dark Tower. Mike Flanagan is also one of my favorite filmmakers alive. The man just makes incredible different things, whether it's films or miniseries. He's just one of the best and most consistent guys working out there, both in the horror genre and just as a filmmaker in general. Midnight Mass is probably my favorite thing Netflix has ever done. The Life of Chuck is very different for him. This is Mike Flanagan at his most artsy and crafty and auteur as a filmmaker. But it's still very much a Mike Flanagan story, a Mike Flanagan script here. And I'm happy to say that I absolutely loved this movie. This is one of the stronger films that we have seen this year so far. So what is The Life of Chuck? Well, The Life of Chuck follows this guy. Guess what? His name is Chuck. And we're seeing his life story, but we're watching it unfold backwards. Instead of watching a story about a guy being born and seeing him go through life all the way up until death, the movie starts at the end of Chuck's life and the end of everybody's life. The world is ending. And it's broken up into 3 acts. Act number 1, which is actually Act 3. It's the ending of the world. Act 2, which is Act 2. That one stays the same. It's the middle of Chuck's life. And then Act 3, which is Act 1, I'm confusing all of you, the ending of the movie is a young Chuck. We're watching his life backwards. And it's a story structure that at first could be very, very jarring and confusing, but it's actually used very uniquely, and it adds to this story, and it tells this story in the only way that it could have been told. The decision to tell the story backwards is actually what makes this story so incredible, because there is a mystery set up in that first act, in the opening minutes of the movie, that the world is ending. We don't know why it's ending, and we don't know what's going on. There's a bunch of mysterious things at play, which we learn more about as the film continues. And it only works telling the story backwards, and it's done really beautifully. This is a movie that's the one word that I could really describe it as. It is beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous movie that tells one of the most remarkable stories I've ever seen about life. Not just the bad parts of life, not just the good parts of life, not just how fragile life could be and how short it could be, but just how wonderful that it's supposed to be at times. It's about time and how short time is. It's about making the most of your day. This movie uses the term carpe diem. It doesn't actually use that term in the movie, but it takes that term and it's like, yes, seize the day. That is The Life of Chuck. It is a movie about seizing the day, about seizing life. And it's just amazing. Let's talk about performances. Now, obviously, Tom Hiddleston's the lead, except he's not. I mean, he's really not in this movie much. If you're going into this movie expecting a big Tom Hiddleston performance, just not in much of this film. He has one gigantic sequence, which is amazing, and when he is on screen, he is fabulous, but to call him the lead is quite a stretch. He does not have the most screen time in this movie of all the actors. This movie is very much an ensemble piece like most of Mike Flanagan's work. There's not really a central protagonist, but there's a bunch of big actors who come in and they all really get a moment to shine. I thought Chiwetel Ejiofor was phenomenal in his screen time here. He does not get to do that much, but the first act of this movie really is his show, and he's able to deliver a few monologues in such a special and amazing way. I thought he was fabulous. I also found Mark Hamill to be a real standout here. There's one scene in particular that earned a certified Joe Marchione tier just because he did such a good job of playing this sort of grandpa who's so positive and so lighthearted and amazing, and it's the grandpa you've always wanted. And there's one scene where he breaks that, and you see the bad cop, and then he comes back down to the good cop, and just really got me. Mark Hamill, I love him. He's so good here. Samantha Sloan, who's in pretty much every Mike Flanagan thing, amazing. Barely in this, doesn't really do too much, but I just love seeing her. Everybody that's in this thing does a good job and serves their purpose. And the purpose is to tell the life of Chuck, and a life in general. What is life? And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful script. And Mike Flanagan is one of the more intriguing writers in Hollywood. He does things that you're not supposed to do as a writer. You have a bunch of these long-winded monologues just all over this film. I mean, in the first 10 minutes of the film, you get like 3 of them back to back to back. Just characters monologuing endlessly about time and death, and it's really just Mike Flanagan writing his own thoughts on these things, which normally would be a bad thing, but Mike Flanagan writes these flowery, beautiful monologues that are just so engaging and so philosophical that I love listening to them. I love listening to what Mike Flanagan has to say through his characters. It gets me thinking, and it also makes me feel existential terror sometimes, but also wonder. That lasts throughout this whole movie. The ideas he's exploring, the things he's visiting here, they're just so beautifully done. The visuals of this movie are all beautiful. It very much looks like a Mike Flanagan shot show movie type of thing, so if you've seen anything from Mike Flanagan, you're going to feel very familiar and at home with his direction and his visual style. I think it looks really good. Some other people might think it looks really dark and gloomy. I enjoyed the way he shoots stuff. And the ending of this movie is absolutely tremendous and completely sticks the landing and left me sitting in my seat, quietly tearing up to myself for quite some time during the credits. It is a wonderful ending, and I use that word on purpose. What a wonderful movie. The Life of Chuck is just one of those beautiful movies that I'm going to be recommending for a long time. It's a movie that I don't think everybody's going to completely get and totally understand at first. It's one that might be hard to digest for some audiences because it's not a straightforward Mike Flanagan or even Stephen King type of story. It's one that's told with a very specific purpose and a very specific theme, and its sort of structure is in support of that idea. And if you're not into that idea and that idea doesn't really connect with you, you might find yourself being very bored in this movie, but I wasn't. I absolutely love this thing, so I'm going to give The Life of Chuck a 4.5 out of 5. This is certainly one of the better movies I've seen this year, and I cannot wait to see it again. Have you guys seen The Life of Chuck? Have you guys seen any Mike Flanagan work? He's just one of the best filmmakers out there. Go watch his stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more. Turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one.